All right, this is capturing the light activity underneath my bed, and at the same time at 6:10 p.m. in Fontana, California, the entity is maintaining a light source that is directly over me while I'm documenting the pattern of conduct in Fontana, California. And this is speaking to what is the impossible maintenance of engineered light. Understand, engineered light is nothing other than a distinct method of stalking with light. It is separate and apart from what is the light source itself. This is under what is the fallacy, the illusion that we have been conditioned to accept, not even paying attention to our natural environment or the environment around you, rather, because this is not the natural environment. There's no iteration of the natural environment where sunlight's going to appear underneath your bed. That's the presence of the demonic. You saw this light activity on my ceiling. You saw this light activity moving out into my hallway moments ago at 5:55 p.m., where the sun is supposedly over me while Fontana PD are flying in circles. That's not the natural environment, and there is no iteration where that's ever going to coexist at 6:10 p.m. while it's remaining both outside of my window and also while it's over me in Fontana. Both of those placements of the light source. The light source being outside of my window right now is not in any explanation for this engineered light. It is the presence literally of what is understanding what is demonic, okay? And you are witnessing the demonic through the environment. And criminal activity is underway where this environment persists. And this is why you're also looking at the demonic light that's above my head. It's appearing in what is the shaded area where I'm outside. And that third party is using her car doors as a method of auto. She's getting in her car, opening and closing her passenger door, her back door. She gets in her car and then she closes her driver car door again. While that light activity is appearing, my shadow is appearing upright at a distance away from me in the shade. All right. That's the presence of the demonic. This is the presence of the demonic, this impossible light that is literally moving in real time and then engaging what is presence. It's above the bed as well. So I want to be clear. This is the light source that's outside of my window at 6:10 p.m. Look at what is documented on this day in Fontana. I've uploaded it to the Compare the P.O.C. folder. This is in all manner capturing what is the impossible light activity. It's the identification of a demon possessed, number one, a group stalker, number two, and that's the state of California in concert with the people of the state. And it is systematically underway. They live in relevant position. That's grounds of federal prison. And also systematically, they're driving an engineered light that's covering the streets and the road. They're living in the engineered light. This is not the sunlight that's under the sun that's over Seville at the Fontana Lewis Library. They're driving in it. They're monitoring. And they're driving in opposite directions. That's the demonic pacing. And they're maintaining real-time knowledge of everything that I'm stating. The demon-possessed get into a frenzy the more that I document them. This is psychotic behavior, and the engineer light is moving across their vehicles as you see that. This is the mark of demon possession, and this is the reality of what is the demonic system that's underway. The entity is maintaining all manner of what is that environment all around, and this is, again, terrorism while a population is surrounding you in this manner, and then is engaging in it through unheard of means such as stalking a helicopter. But in addition to that, while they are engaging in that in an environment that is entirely unnatural and they're monitoring your documentation, that's a psychopath. Okay, a sex offender that is aware of the fact that you're, for example, writing in your diary about the fact that they're sexually violating you day in and day out. Okay, that sex offender is privy to what it is that you're writing. They're breaking in your apartment every day and they're reading your diary, and they engage in and they are gratified by engaging in more sexual violence. They place more mechanisms whereby they're recording you while you're physically indisposed. They engage in more conduct of maintaining presence all around and harassing you while they know you're physically indisposed. They engage in more sexually offensive conduct while they are privy to everything that you're writing about the fact that they're sexually violating you on a routine basis. That is analogous to the behavioral pattern of the demon possessed. And they do that as an entity. And these are demons that are inspired by that sort of demented pattern. That's what's wrong with them. Let me be clear. Demon possession does not remove your act of your own volition. But this is in every way giving into what is demon possession. And that's why it's also a secret system, because they know very well what's right and wrong. They know very well what's acceptable and unacceptable. They know very well what's weird and what's accepted. And there's an ongoing real-time agenda to alter your mind state about what you find acceptable, by the way. That's a real-time agenda. It is currently 6:16 p.m. And the entity is stalking a helicopter, just like you saw the Fontana Police Department doing. And they're doing it under the light source, which is in alignment to my bedroom, the same apartment where the sun was rising. All right. And that's not the sun. And that's the outward demonstration of a demon-possessed agency, which shall be disbanded. That is LAPD, the world showing you the world learning what is demon possession, what it looks like, what is terrorism, America's version of terrorism in the United States. And that's what that is. They are crossing path. Okay. Let me be clear. When my camera's not running, when my camera's not on, and when they think they can get over, they're flying directly over my apartment, just like you saw moments earlier, flying directly over me. Okay? What they're doing is still monitoring. They're crossing path, and they're doing so under what is not possibly the sun, while light is appearing underneath my mattress and growing in real time. That's the demonstration of demon possession by a police department. And it's also documented impunity, and the people are monitoring with them. So let me remind you again about all the stalked sex offenders that are crossing path, monitoring. That is, again, Phoenicia of 1860 number 5. She walked into my office today to engage in what is criminal monitoring while I was uploading documentation. All she does is open the door, and that creates what is failure of my ability to upload the information. Of course, I'm going to upload it again, but you're documenting the fact that these violent sex offenders who are engaged in federal stalking are engaged in an ongoing obsessive endeavor. Obsessive. All right, you're going to add on to this list what is 6:18 p.m. You just saw LAPD again flying over, doing so in concert with the people of the state, engaging in ambush conduct, flying over my head this morning as I arrived to the office to communicate a threat under what was the light source that's over the same apartment complex. My leasing office is just downstairs. That's not the sun that they were group stalking under this morning. And I want to be clear, that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 10 hours ago. And that's not the sun now that's still in alignment to me in that same police department, monitoring on the video of the internet, showing impunity, obsessively stalking still, showing what is the American version of terrorism while demonic activity is practiced by a government. All right. And this demonic activity is state surveillance. And it is that which is underway by violent sex offenders. And these are the names of them who are going to federal prison. Okay. They are engaging in what is psychotic behavior while you're looking at that engineered light that surrounds me day and night, not only in the workplace, but inside of my private space. That's an ongoing communication of a threat by all of those who are group stalking you in concert with that entity that engages in the psychotic and highly depraved and disturbing level of stalking someone in helicopter. That's what the entity is engaging in, and it is a pattern. Okay. It is currently, again, 6:19 p.m. This is the pattern of conduct, and the entity is surrounding. There's no sunlight either that's going to be touching the hillside. This is where the sun is supposedly rising. The entity is engaging in what is acting as though the sunlight is reaching into the depths of my bedroom, even underneath my mattress, and you still have what is also sunlight at the same time, I guess, reaching over my apartment building and touching all over the hillside. Under no circumstances is this either going to be the sun. In addition to that, because the sun is documented while I'm in Fontana, California, this is engineered light touching all over the property. This is the mark of demon possession, a population that's engaged in state surveillance while the engineered light covers all of the property. All they're doing is driving around, pacing around in engineered light, engaging in what is activity creation while they are jointly keeping me under surveillance, knowing everything that I say. That's why you have the ongoing documented pattern of crossing path at 1826 Lobdell and engineered light moving all across that wooden gate. Okay? They're all listening, engaged in federal stalking violation, Title 18, and they're all covered in the evidence. The people of the state that are in the custody of minor children are going to be relieved of custody of those minor children, and you have what is a population that will be placed on a list to be maintained by the Department of Justice as engaging in state surveillance. This is America's version of terrorism as it's underway, threatening the lives of American citizens in this country. That's the significance of this environment that you're looking, and this is supposedly sunlight that's appearing underneath my mattress right now. That's impossible. This is not sunlight that you're also looking at that's appearing above my head inside of my apartment. The sunlight that's creating my shadow up right in front of me at a distance while I'm standing outside in the shade. No, this is engineered light. Understand that. And there is no light activity that's going to be over some hillside where the entity was rising the same light source. I'm looking at the same living room window, and the entity is, you're talking about 11 hours later, as though this is still going to be sunlight while its documented presence over me is in Fontana. Yeah, that's the P.O.C. That's how you get that. And you also have a big hint because the entity is always stalking in the most psychotic method possible in helicopter. Okay? It is currently, again, 6:21 p.m. and this is P.O.C.